There's a lot going on in Washington, D.C., and joining us now to talk about some of it is New Mexico Senior Senator Jeff Bingaman, live from Washington. Good morning, Senator.
Good morning.
Good morning. Really, our first question is about insurance in the healthcare system. The president has been on the road really pushing his plan, and one of the big questions, of course, how is insurance going to work under this new plan?
Well, the plan we're talking about would, of course, allow anyone who has insurance today to continue with that insurance, have it renewed. That would not change. For folks who don't have coverage today, they would buy insurance as well, but new insurance policies that had not already been issued would have to comply with certain requirements in that they could not exclude pre-existing conditions. They would have to be generally offered to the public. They would have to be available for renewal. There could be no limits on lifetime limits on coverage, so that we wouldn't have a circumstance where people buy a policy and then find out later that there were exclusions in that policy that they didn't know about, and that causes them great difficulty. So we would put in place some basic requirements with regard to insurance policies issued in the future.
Now, I know there's a lot of concern about how this is going to be paid for new health care reform. The Republicans have their own plan. Do you see any common ground where you might be able to help broker a deal?
Well, I hope we can find some common ground. I think what we're looking at is there's no question that trying to reform the health care system is going to cost some additional funds here in the next few years as you expand coverage to some of those who currently aren't covered. At the same time, if at the same time we do that reform, we also are able to bring down the growth in cost of health care in future years. That more than compensates and offsets any growth in cost in the next few years. So that's the hope, is we could get a solution that over the long term does reduce the growth in cost of health care.
Senator, you're working on an energy bill. What is the most important thing out of that bill to you?
Well, I think there are a couple of things that are very important. One, we have put in place a much more robust effort by the federal government to assist developers of clean energy projects, so that they can get loan guarantees and other assistance to put in wind farms, to put in solar plants, to expand the clean energy production that's going on in the country. Another major thrust of the legislation is to move us to the development of a smart electricity grid around the country. If we can put more technology into the grid, if we can do a better job of upgrading the capacity of our grid, we can be much more efficient in our use of electricity and not have to build so many coal-fired power plants in the future.
We just have a few seconds left. Senator, I know that you met with Supreme Court nominee Sotomayor. Your impressions of her?
Well, I was very impressed. She's a great fan of our state of New Mexico. She says she comes to New Mexico every chance she gets, has good friends in Albuquerque and Santa Fe, and so I think she's very qualified for the position. I think the president chose well when he chose her, and I think she'll be a great addition to the Supreme Court.
Senator Jeff Bingaman, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.